Hello and welcome to Solo Playhouse. My name's Matt. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I am going to be playing Lands of Galzyr, which I've played before on this channel quite a while ago. I just received the latest expansion, which is Lands of Galzyr Dreams and Mysteries. So this has added a new character that I will be playing today, NOKO and Umi, and 240 cards, which have added lots of new stuff for all the characters, apparently. And I'm going to read the bit on the front here. So let me just put this out and read this for you, because I haven't really read this. Welcome to Dreams and Mysteries, the first expansion to Lands of Galzyr. The expansion adds a lot of new content to the base game. This booklet guides you through integrating it into your game, after which you can enable the expansion content in the digital storybook and continue playing. To prevent spoilers, avoid reading the cards beforehand. The expansion also introduces a new character to the game. It gives you one more save slot to use if you want to play a different story or with a new player. This also makes it possible to play the game with more than 4 players at once. But keep in mind the game length and downtime between players' turns will increase. Have fun and explore the mysteries. Ooh. And there is just a little bit more at the bottom about NOKO and Umi. NOKO and Umi are seafaring agama and frog duo who move from port to port as easily as valuables from other pockets to theirs. Like brother and sister, they've learned to rely only on each other in the tempests of their lives. Some things keep hiding from them, however, and they've set their course to Galzyr for answers. So there we go. So I have done the setup already. There's quite a lot of setup, and I also had because I got a very early version of the game, there was an update pack as well, which was about 40 odd cards. And that's basically it. So all the cards are in there. There are basically there are some event cards which we use quite a lot, and the event cards have some new stuff in there. I think the original started off with 20 event cards, and now there are 30. So there's a third chance of us drawing some of the new stuff. I just love the way this system works. Like, it's so cleverly interwoven. There are about 500 cards. But also we have the digital book, which I will show you now. So here we have it. And hold on, I'm just gonna, so I can access it. So we need to click I Own Dreams and Mysteries expansion, and then it says, please note the story content of the expansion is still a work in progress, which is a little bit disappointing. Some scenes are missing, showing internal notes instead, and others lack polish. We're hard at work completing them and will do frequent updates. However, you can already play and enjoy the expansion. Just know that the experience is a bit incomplete for the moment. Thank you for your patience while we make the expansion as good as possible. So also, of course, I won't be playing the expansion all the time. It may be that we start straight away, especially as we're playing with a new character. And I don't know how much has been done. I know that they have written quite a lot of stuff, so we shall see. So basically, what we do is we click start, and then this is the book of adventures. We select the month shown on the global status card, and this was chosen randomly. So if you look here, we have this random month card, which is June. So the board itself has a summer and winter side. So this will flip over every 6 months as well. But we are just playing on the solo mode. We play 8 days in full, but that will be explained as well. So if we go back to the browser, we are going to select June. Oh, and there's music playing. So we will stop the music. And so it tells us what day it is. So we go to the board. Down here you can see there are days. So we put Tuesday on there. And then basically we are just choosing scenes. So we will put in numbers to choose scenes. And that is that. We will come back to that. So there are 2 things that we do usually on a turn. We move, and we can move 2 spaces. So you can see there are roads and spaces and towns and cities all around the land of Galzyr. But when we start with a new game and a new character, they have a card, and it has a lightning symbol on it. And the lightning symbol means that we have to do this, and we are not on the board at the moment. Our character piece is off the board. So these are 2 starting cards that you are selected automatically at the start. So I will read this card, and this is Alone Together Part 1. Seeking closure, you're headed towards a new land, Galzyr. An information broker resides there who might know answers to the questions. And then it says, during setup, do not place your figure on the game board. This cannot be abandoned. So abandoning we resolve effects at the bottom of cards. So some things can be abandoned, but this can't be. So we can't move because we're not on the map. So we will immediately go to Start Your Adventure, which is in the storybook as 0387. So we'll go to the storybook and input 387, and we'll see if the story is there. So let's read this. From the ship's bow, you watch the vessel dock at an industry-choked port. This is one of the free city-states of Galzyr, on which hundreds of different kinds of folk swirl through its riverside businesses. You can feel the eyes of the other passengers on you. Being a sailor yourself, many have mistaken you as a member of the crew. Furthermore, flat-headed rock agamas are rare in these lands. Rarer yet is Umi, as none here seem to have ever seen a strawberry poison frog. Other than a refreshing change of scenery, Galzyr offers answers to questions that you two have had burning in your hearts for years. A polecat porter comes up on the deck with a cart of luggage. Passengers, collect your bags here. So we move the adventurer's figure to Hazembi. So where is Hazembi? Oh, it's over there. Okay, so if we look here, Hazembi is over here. So we are literally in Hazembi. And we collect our luggage. As you wait in line to get to your luggage, you dwell on the answers you lust for. For you, it's the identity of whoever exposed you and your former criminal gang to the authorities. The one who stole 5 years of your life. For your tiny compatriot, she yearns to know if there were any survivors of the terrible storm that demolished her tribe. After a stalk and a monitor, you reclaim your bags from the trolley. Inside it are the tools of your trade, unmolested from the rough and lengthy over-ocean voyage. You're lucky the customs officer at the last port didn't look too closely at these items. Some might consider them suspicious. You and the other passengers empty out into Hazembi's streets. So usually, if I was playing with other people, if NOKO and Umi are my characters, the other person would read this out. So the instruction is give 2 random 200 from the library to the adventurer. So how we do this is we get, the 200 cards out. And there are quite a few of them. So I am now going to randomize these because I don't know, I can't remember exactly if it was randomized. So I'm just going to shuffle these. So we are going to get some stuff. I'm just going to move them up a little bit. So we have a magnifying glass. So this gives us a keyword, and keywords can be useful. It costs 5 coins, but we're getting it for free because it's ours. Being able to discern minute details comes in handy in many professions, from detectives to locksmiths. However, when viewed through the lens of polecat cubs, the most important trait is the enhanced ability to make funny faces. So this gives us a couple of words, search and unlock, which are things that might come up in tests that we do. So we have 3 spaces for items. So the next card is magnet. So it has the keyword magnetic. While its exact workings remain a mystery to many, a suitably strong magnet can attract everything from lost keys to a crafty magpie thief. And again, it has some words, unlock and search, which means we can roll a dice and get some successes. Stars, green stars are successes. So that's it. We've taken the 2. So I'm going to put these back. And we will go back to our book. So we continue. You've heard that the infamous Yahustu dwells in Hazembi, a walrus known for privacy, smuggling, and information dealing. He might be able to get the answers you crave. The word in the criminal underworld is that he needs someone to do a job that involves applying toxins. With Umi's poisonous skin, that's covered. On the topic of criminals, you pass by a store named Uncle Jerry's Juice. You've never been a patron of it, but you know its elderly fruit bat owner works with smugglers. The walrus marks his temporary dwellings with a curved red symbol, so his clients can find him. You can explore the area looking for it, or you could pester Jerry into telling you what he knows of the walrus's whereabouts. And then they have a reminder. After the adventure chooses an option, select it before they resolve the skill check. So we have a couple of options here. We can explore the area, which is a medium survival check. Or we can convince Jerry to tell us. And that is a medium communication check. So they're both medium, which means I think we need 2 successes to pass. Is it 2? Let me check. Yeah, 2 successes. So we have to decide. So if we look at our board, you can see that we have certain things marked on this wheel. And we have 2 in thievery, we have 1 in communication, and 1 in survival. And communication and survival are the things we want. So it's pretty much even as to what we will choose. And I will show you what that means. So, shall we search for it, or shall we convince Jerry to tell us? They are both the same, so it kind of doesn't matter. Let's convince Jerry to tell us. So we're doing a medium communication check. So to test this, we are always going to roll 5 dice. And these are the standard dice. They have every skill on them: thievery, might, survival, knowledge, communication, and perception. But if we are doing a test, and we have something marked on our wheel, then we're going to change dice for the test that we're on and the 2 on the outside as well, because they are related. So because we're doing a medium communication test, which is blue, we are going to change one of these die to a blue die, and we're going to roll them. So before we do that, as it says, we are going to click on Convince Jerry to tell you. So it reminds us that we are going to roll 1 blue die and 4 black die. Should be the adventurer's best available dice pool due to their current skill marks, because it knows this is NOKO and Umi, because it's their story. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll these 5 dice, and we're looking for these communication symbols. And we kind of need to. Also, well, we could have looked at this. We have explore and convince. So we do need to look at keywords as well. But we do not have any of those keywords available on any of our cards, but they can change things. Okay, so we got 1. So we go back to the book and we reveal outcomes. 0 to 1, click. You enter the juice store and, seeing the old fruit bat work the main counter, pester him annoyingly. About to melt down, the bat can't withstand your stupidity anymore and pulls you aside. Listen, he says. There is a community of marine folk that live in a tent community on the river's banks. He's in a white and green striped tent there. Now get out of here. You leave and follow Jerry's instructions to the tent community, entering the tent that matched the description. So, you're face to gut with a towering mountain of blubber, sitting among the mounds of exotic trinkets. An eye-patch walrus grins down at you. What a colourful pair of critters you are. Why did you enter my home? Bluntly, you tell him you know who he is, that you're here to apply to his new job and want info as payment. He pats a padlocked box with a heavy flipper. First, a demonstration of your skills. See if you can open this. Its key is hidden here in my tent. So, we have to select an option, as we're reminded. So we can unlock the box, which is a hard test. It is a thievery test. We are a thief. Or we can search the tent, which is a medium perception test. So if we look again at our character, we can have 2 of the pink dice, and they are the ones that we need for thievery because we are a thief. So I think we're going to do that one. So it means we'll roll 5 die, but 2 will be pink. And these are good because they have 2 sides with 2 thievery counters on them. So it means that there's a 1 in 3 chance of getting 2 for this. But also, because this is unlock the box, I also have a magnet and a magnifying glass. And I think we maybe can only use 1 card. Let me check. Yeah, the same effect cannot be used more than once per skill check. So we couldn't, because these are both unlock, we can only use one of them, but we can decide which one we're going to use. So let's do it. Let's do the skill check. So we're going to roll these 5 dice. We're looking for the thievery icons. And we got 1. I'm just wondering. I don't think we can re-roll anything. Hold on. You may re-roll all dice once in your die pool. So I'm going to re-roll them because 1 is definitely not enough, even though we've got an unlock. Okay, that's better. We got 2. And now we can use the unlock that is on the test. So it's either we use our magnifying glass, we can re-roll 1 dice, or we can unlock and use our magnet, and we will roll this 12-sided dice, and if we get 5 to 12, we get 2 successes. So I think that is the better option. We have more chance. So we need 5 to 12. I'm very unlucky with dice rolls. Yeah, I got a 4, so we don't get those. So we only got 2. So let's move back. Oh, we only got 2. So, oh, we should have clicked this first. Yes, and it does remind us we can reroll all dice on a skill check, and some cards might also influence the result. Yes. Unfortunately, we only got 2, so let's reveal the outcomes. 0 to 2. I think it's going to be kind to us. Looking for the key among this stuff will be a hassle, so you opt to pick the box's lock. Yahusto's smug smile droops into a frown after you spend an hour failing at it. He closes his eyes. Truth be told, I'll have to settle for useless. I've run out of time to find someone for the job. Oh dear. Clumsily, he gives you a note. The woods of Maratu are northwest of here. Some of my friends had a parcel that was confiscated by the forest rangers there. I need to get it onto a ship. The note covers everything. He sweeps you outside with his flipper as he has to get ready. Metaphorically red with embarrassment, you exit the tent and leave the walrus to whatever time-sensitive evils he's working on. Return alone together 111 from the adventurer to the library. So yeah, this card goes back into the library. So we are done with that. 111 goes back, and then it says give 411 from the library to the adventurer. So we get Alone Together Part 2. And that is the end of the scene. So that is our day over. So we get this Alone Together Part 2. And this is, to get your answers, you'll have to do Yahusto's dirty work. He wants you to retrieve some specific package that was confiscated by a guard outpost in Maratu. Allegedly using toxins is crucial to getting inside the palace. Cannot be abandoned. So visit the outposts on Maratu. So Maratu is here. But also what I've just neglected to do is we need to mark the end of the game. So in a solo game it is 8 days. So what we do is we have, oh, there's a nice panda. So we have these little pairs of tokens. And so we count from the day that we're starting, which is Tuesday. So we will end next Wednesday. And then this token will actually go on the card that talks about the end, because that signals the end game. So we will put it here. So quite nice, there is a reference to which card will activate at the end. But I should have done that earlier on. So also, Alone Together is a mission. So we could put a token on here. We already have one for something else, which are like public quests, which we can do as well. So there we go. So we are definitely heading to Murata because there's a couple of things we can do. So that is the end of the first day. So we go to the calendar phase, which I'm just going to read through to make sure I'm doing. After all players have taken a turn, it is time for the calendar phase. Move the day token to the next day on the calendar and advance to the next day in the Book of Adventures as well. If there are timer tokens on the new day slot, resolve them, which there aren't. So we physically move this along, and then on the book, we also move to Wednesday. It does a little swoosh. And that can change things. So now we are on the map. We are at Hazembe. And you can probably see there are things to do in Hazembe. So we could not move and do one of these things. But I think we're going to go to Murata and probably do our personal quest. So we can move 2. That is the first thing we would do on a normal day. So we will go 1, 2. And you can see here, we always do an action, a test on every day. So because there's nothing, we aren't at Murata yet, we will be next turn. We will do this. So this is, I think it's a hill, the hills. We're in the hills. And we have these event cards, which are over here. And these are predetermined by the game, plus some expansion ones, and then shuffled up. And I think there are 30 cards, as I said in here. So we just take the top one. And then you will see on this card that there are certain things. And basically we'll go from the top to the bottom. And when we get to the thing that is applicable to us, we will do that. And these are actually all the same. So we're going to do the same thing. But if it was a Sunday, settlement, grassland, forest, hill. And it is a hill. So we're going to look at 501 in the storybook. So back to the storybook. And we'll put 501. Ooh, okay. On this cloudy day, on this cloudy day, 100 folk gawk at Grand Destination's tourist booth. Its attendants try to shoo off one figure in Baroque robes who is festooned with wicker fetishes. It laughs with a voice of sorrow and thunder. This time, this place is where the end begins, the end of all things. Though it spoke with conviction, those gathered laugh at the likelihood, until a roar rocks the heavens. Hundreds of silver and sinister red lights snake down. Hundreds of slivers of sinister red light snake down from the heavens, reaching out in jagged claws to strangle everyone. Blind panic consumes all. Everyone bites and claws to get free of the crowd. Many folks are pressed against a wagon and overturn it, pinning a Muir child to the ground. And then it says, do you possess the music tag? And we don't anywhere on our cards. So we will say no. So we can calm the folk down for a medium test, force the wagon off the child for a medium might test. Now, we don't have might, but we do have communication. So we will do that one. We can ignore the hysteria and move on. Let's try the test. So we will click medium. So reveal outcomes. So we are going to roll 1 light blue die and 4 others. So let's see that. So we're looking for the face symbols. And we got none, so I'm going to re-roll again. Yes, my unlucky rolling. Wow. 0. That's real unlucky rolling. +1 books. Oh, we got 3 books. So this is interesting because this is a related next door. Sometimes you get an option like this. So we did get +1 book, so it's giving us a little bit of benefit. Oh, this is just terrible. How can you calm all these folks down? Can any rational means breach all this fear and panic? Wait, that's it. If you can think of a rational sounding explanation for this event, even if it may not be true, that might be enough to get everyone to calm down. So we'll continue. So we have to come up with a fake reason. So now we're doing a green test, which actually helps us a little bit because I'm just going to show you because I realized I haven't shown you that. Yeah, so as you can see here, I had books, so I clicked the green one. Yeah, so because this is now a knowledge test, on my player board, the green one, let me just show you, the green one has a blue and a yellow next to it. So we can replace one of the dice with a yellow, and then we need to do the test. So let's roll these dice. So now we're looking for books, which we got a lot of then, and we probably will not get a lot of now because my luck. Books. Okay, we got 1 book. It's an easy test. I can re-roll, but I will pass with 1. So if we go back here, we'll reveal the outcomes. We got 1. Think. What makes light appear in the sky? Lightning does. Lightning can fill the air with the smell of ozone. Does the air smell like ozone? Kinda. Maybe these red lights are just some kind of funky lightning. You tell everyone that you can smell lots of ozone in the air, and thus whatever imposing event unfolding above is little more than spicy lightning. The explanation you give undoes some of the panic. Enough folks get their wits back, and they work to get everyone away from the cart and rescue the Muir child from underneath it. The lights and the stranger who projected them have vanished. Folks are still pretty spooked, but thank you for setting things straight. How nice. It's kind of scary how quickly the world can go mad. It is eating away at you a little as you wonder if the strange actually knew about the lightning, or if it was just a lucky guess. At least you got today's situation controlled, though you still feel a restless energy in the land and hope nothing worse comes of it. So we earn 1 prestige. So prestige is kind of a way at the end of a game to gauge how well you did. And if you were playing with other people, someone could kind of win, have the most prestige. So prestige is up here, and we just move our token up 1. So now we have 1 prestige. Return the drawn event 432 to the library. So that event is now out of the game. This is one of the things I love, games that have these sort of cards, event cards that change, and obviously we will get more events in the deck as we play as well. So 432 goes back. And then take 426 from the library and shuffle it into the event deck. There you go. There you go, 426. So this card is the new event, and it goes into the event deck and is shuffled in. Love it. And then we go back, and this says end of scene. So end of scene is basically the end of the day. So we've come to the end of the day, so we will move our time up. There we go. So next day, we are wanting to get to Maratu. So we can move 2. So I will move 1, 2, and we're in Maratu. So we now have choices because we have our story, but there is also a quest in Maratu. And it has some text on the back of it. It says, seeking those of an incisive and inquiring nature to assist me with an investigation of a sensitive and serious crime. If this is you, the reader, please get in touch. So, just going to make sure I do this right as well. So, the quest card we have or yeah, I think I know. Place the event cards. Yes, so I'm going to take this quest in Maratu. So we turn it over. And this is unfinished research. My father worked at Arin University as a researcher. That is until his untimely death in Teshun many years ago. And like the investigators, I do not believe it was an accident. That's all I dare say for now. Please meet me in Teshun and we'll find out the truth. Louisanne, the European Hedgehog undergraduate. So we can go to Teshun to do this. So this card will go with our cards, and we will take this one off and mark Teshun as a place we need to go. I'm just trying to find out. I can't quite remember what happens when we take a quest card. Just going to see if I can find it, because I want to do it right. What happens when we take a quest card from the notice board? Galzyr. Do we replace the taken quest card? Yes, we do. So we have these quest cards shuffled up. I must say that somewhere. So in Teshun, so there are 2 in Teshun. Oh, quest cards and slots. Quest cards proceed to scenes when you complete rewards. You can gain quests in various ways, including the notice board, which always has a few you can pick up. Keep the quests you gain in your hand. While on notice board, the public side of the quest, you can pick up and also abandon quests during your turn as long as you are not in the middle of the scene. To pick up a quest, your adventure figure must be at the pickup location. To abandon, resolve the abandon effect. Yeah. The quest slot holds up-and-coming events. When the notice board has 2 or fewer quests, immediately fill it back to the 3. When quest cards are placed to the quest slot, they are placed to the back of the slot. From the front of the quest. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we still have an action to do. So we are going to do our story action here, which is Alone Together, part 2. So we are doing Yahasto's dirty work, and we're meeting a guard at the outpost in Maratu. So we visit the outpost, which is 0338. 338 is the adventurer or partner Asala? No. Oh, that is wrong. Okay, we're going back. Wrong. It's 388. Following the instructions are Yahasto's note. You come to the deep woods of Maratu. It leads you past the ranger station and the usual tourist spots to a guard post off the beaten path. With only a single locked front door, it's more of a warehouse than a proper fort. A guard of behemoth proportion mines the lone entrance. Scars cover the lion, and he's burdened with heavy armor and vicious weapons. Umi unfurls the note and reads the next passage in a whisper. That lion is too skilled to be fought conventionally, but he's weak-blooded. A touch of toxin should knock him out, allowing you to enter. The note makes it sound rather simple, but how are we going to get him in contact with Umi? So we can sneak up to the behemoth, which is hard, but is our strongest skill. Or we can trick the behemoth into touching Umi, which is medium. Don't sneak and trick are not things will help us. So I'm going to sneak up to the behemoth and do the hard test. So we are rolling these dice and we're looking for the hand symbols. Come on. We got 1 there, so I'm going to re-roll them. Okay, we got 3. So let us see. 3 to 4. In soft steps toward the guard, you approach from the side. The lion doesn't notice you until Umi is squished into an exposed spot on his side. He spins about and slurred word comes from his mouth before he topples over like a felled tree. You give Umi a pat and put her back on your shoulder. Freeing a ring of keys from the lion's belt, you get into the entrance of the building. You shouldn't be under too much pressure, but someone may have heard the lion go down. Inside, you can see the structure is only comprised of a single large room. It's packed with items, wagons, and steeds that were seized as contraband by the forest rangers of Maratu. Giving a read of the notes, you find the package Yahusto described. A head-sized, soundless box wrapped in brown paper. With a bang, the room door is pulled shut. You can hear several folks on the other side of it, one of which yells, "We've trapped the intruders in there. Call for reinforcements." Great, so we have 2 tests. Force your way through the door or observe the hall for another way out. So we're going to do the observe because that is our best option. The perception test. So with a perception test, we are rolling... Oh, hold on. Yes, perception is best because we're going to roll 2 pink and 1 light blue. So let's see. So we're looking for eye symbols, and it's a medium test, I think. Yeah, so we're looking for eye symbols. So we've got 1, which probably isn't enough, so I think I will roll them again. And we got 1 again. So back to the book. I've not had a good roll yet. Oh, 1. In a panic, you look about the room and think you see a hidden trapdoor subtly outlined in the wall. You run at it and learn, to your dismay, it's just a coincidental outline and hit face first into the wall. More guards arrive and they fling the door open. They swarm in and get a ball of iron shackled to your leg. In frantic thrashing, you break free and run past them, heading into the woods until you're safe. As you catch your breath, an elderly mole with a cane surfaces from the shadows. Not a smooth escape, but now Yahusto needs you to get the package to Wave Chaser. The ship is docked in Aaron's port. She wishes you a toodles and leaves. You have so many questions and a dead weight stuck to your leg. So we earn 1 prestige, so now we have 2 prestige. We return alone together 411 to the library. we give 52 to ourselves, and this will be a bad thing because we've got a ball and chain on it. So this is a ball and chain. And we give 4, 1, 2 as well. So I'll just show you these in a sec. Partners earn 1 prestige, but there are no partners, so we end the scene. So I'll move the day on here and I'll show you these cards. So we have ball and chain. So this is chained. In a famous court case, a fox avoided jail by arguing how lesser misconduct should mean lesser decrease in mobility. At towns and not in a scene, you may spend 5 coins to discard. Now we have 10 to start with. So it's on a little thing here. So you can see we have 10 coins. So we can do that, but this is not a town. And it has some consequences for us as well in terms of if any of these keywords, words are in the test, then we lose 1 of our successes. So it makes it harder. We don't want to do those successes at the moment. So this will become one of our cards. And this is the new one. So we need to take the package to the ship Wave Chaser at Arin. So Arin is down here. So we'll move that down here. So when we get to Arin, we can do that. So that's the end of the day. I've already moved the day on. So it's the next day. So we can move to, I don't think it actually, sometimes these restrict movement. No, it doesn't restrict movement. So we should go to Arin. There is also another public quest that we can maybe pick up there. We can pick up as many quests as we want. Yes, so we will move 1, 2. So now there is nothing we can do here apart from 1 of the events. So we will take the top card. You see this one has different numbers on it. So is it a Wednesday? No, it's a Friday. We're not in a settlement. We are in the grasslands. So we're going to do 63. So again, we go to the book and do 63. The tedium of travelling through an oppressive thunderstorm is broken up by the bruise-colouring sky opening up every few minutes to light the world in pure white. As you walk, you notice an odd pattern to the strikes. The last few have all occurred in the same place. 3 repeated bolts striking the same location a few hundred metres away, behind a large clump of trees. 5 minutes later, the same thing again. Something there must be attracting lightning bolts. You can't help but think this is odd and possibly bad. Hello, unknown. No. It would take just the same amount of time, but it is 1 space closer. You're completely right. I was covering it up with my card. But it would take the same, it would take 2 turns to do it. Because you can only move and then do a check or whatever. So you can't split your movement up. So shall we go and investigate? I think we should. Why not? The air is charged with electricity as you enter a clearing with a giant metal rod standing at the centre of it. Supporting wires are running from it towards a newly built cottage at the edge of the clearing. Hello there, shouts an ocelot lizard, flapping his arms as he runs towards you from the direction of the cottage. I'm Professor Lanami from the Royal Academy of GALZYR. My research team is conducting some experiments to measure electrical charges of cloud. 5 quick bolts of lightning smash into the rod, and you and poor Professor Lamy hit the dirt. The rod is attracting far more lightning than anticipated. Please help us, and quickly before we lose everything. So, if you pack each scholar tag gives you 1 success. We do not have a scholar tag. So we can help pack the equipment, or we can force the rod down, medium. And I think forcing the rod down is better for us. We have more chance of doing it. So we will look down here. So yeah, this is a medium might check. So we're going to get 2 pink and 1 yellow and 2 black dice. So we are looking for sword symbols. And we got none on our first roll. I have bad rolls. I'm not lucky with dice. Swords. Okay, we got 2 swords, which is fine. Not that bad. So we'll go back. And yes, we got 2 swords. The top of the rod is covered in electrodes, which are arcing with faint blue flame. Uh-oh. You do, however, bring the rod down after a few attempts. Get inside fast, shouts the professor as you run. A lightning bolt strikes the field nearby, throwing you off your feet. You suddenly can't feel your legs, but the physicists grab you and carry you into the cottage. The moment you're inside, you can feel sensation returning. Temporary paralysis is normal, Professor Lanami says, with the rest of the team packs up the equipment. Thank you for saving our gear. Feel free to rest here until the storm passes. So we get 1 prestige, and we place the drawn event on the bottom of the event deck. Oh, there you go, you see. And we end the scene. So we will move on to Saturday. And here we are, next day. So we're going to travel to Arin. 1, 2. Yeah, so it wouldn't have changed anything. But yeah, you're right. So we are in Arin, and we have the ball and chain, and we're in what they call a settlement. So you see the settlement is on Arin, the card itself. These are cards, by the way. I don't know if I've said that, but these can change. So if we pay 5, we can get rid of it, but not while we're in a scene. So I think we will. We've got 10. So we will go down to, 5 gold coins. And so we can discard this. So this just goes back in the box. Back to 52. So we have the option to pick up one of the quests, which is this one. And this says, assistance in fund seeking required. Understanding the mind of a potential sponsor or patron appreciated, or deep pockets are in university. I don't think that particularly suits us, so I'm not going to take that one. I am going to do Alone Together. I should say also we have a special card which is called Dynamic Duo, and basically this is our card, and if we begin a partner scene, and I know that we don't, usually you would do that with other people, but if it's a partner scene, we can discard this card to get one success in all the skill checks in the scene. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we've gone with the mysterious package to Wave Chaser at Iron. So we're going to head to the docks, which is 389. So 389. Covertly, you move through the crowded dock at Iron. Going along the waterfront, you read the name of each boat you pass until you find the narrow trade schooner named Wave Chaser. At the top of the gangplank, a pair of dock inspectors stand there blocking your path. A red kite and a red kangaroo. The kangaroo practices her boxing. Come on, this is taking forever. This ship is supposed to leave soon. Red kite studies a manifest. All things done right must be done slowly. Nothing has ever been easy in either of your lives, so of course you'd run into such an annoying obstacle while time is running out. Do you try to get on board, or wait for the inspection party to move on? So we can fight the dock inspectors, which is a medium might test, or we can intimidate the inspectors to leave, which is an easy communication test, or we can just wait them out. Let's do the... Ooh, it's so difficult because either of these are good, really. Let's intimidate. No, let's fight them. So we're going to do fighting, which is a medium might test. So we roll the same dice as we rolled just before. So we're looking for swords. And we got one, which isn't enough. So I'm going to re-roll all of them again. Come on, swords. And we got none. Yeah. So, oh, it wouldn't make any difference. Anyway, charging up the ramp, you attack the two inspectors. The kite takes to the sky and avoids you, but the red kangaroo feeds you a couple of knuckle sandwiches. After taking a black eye or two, Umi distracts her so you can at least get past the kangaroo. As the kite soars away, she cries out for guards, "Help us!" The red kangaroo swivels her head between you and her partner and decides to fall back. You two better finish your mission quickly before they return with the guards. You get into the cargo room and set the package among the other crates, but it sticks out like a sore thumb. A worry comes to you. If this package doesn't stay on the ship, your mission is in vain. Between guards that will soon arrive on the scene or curious crew members making later rounds, someone might notice the package and dispose or report it. You've got to find some way to hide, maybe stick it up in the crow's nest, or disguise it with whatever junk is laying around. So we have two hard tests. Camouflage the package or climb up into the crow's nest. And camouflage the package is the one that's going to be best for us. But with my luck at the moment, who knows? So we will roll these dice. So we're looking for the hand symbols. And we got none. So I will re-roll these dice again. Camouflage the package. Yeah, camouflage is not good for us. Oh dear! I'm really having bad luck. Like, I feel like I've jinxed myself. Oh, hold on. I was doing that wrong, wasn't I? Okay, I'm gonna retcon. I'm gonna retcon and roll again because I was looking at the wrong things. Okay, there's only one there, so I'm gonna re-roll. Okay, I got 3. Using tarps, boards, and other bits from around the cargo storage, you mess around with the outside of the package. You work until it looks less conspicuous. To hedge your bets further, you hide it at the bottom of one pile of cargo. It feels like you could have done better, but looking at it now, it's pretty well hidden. No one should notice it. With your covert task complete, you and Umi retreat from the ship and melt away into the crowds that blanket the docks. From the closest alleyway, a whistle catches your attention and you go check it out. Yahusto is there, on a custom-wheeled board. With a push of his flippers, he rolls up. You inform him what you did with the package. A deal is a deal. What info are you two after? Umi wishes to learn of her tribe, the Sozek, had any survivors. You want the identity of whoever ratted you and your old criminal gang out. The walrus purses his lips. Very personal. Let me put my feelers out, see what I can learn. When I have answers, I'll send someone to deliver them. The best his flipper can do, he shows you a note. If you want, I do have more work for you. It's above table. Yes, let's accept the work offer. Umi leaps down, takes the note, and leaps back up to your shoulder. The broker thanks you for taking the job and skates away on his belly board. This has been a hectic quest, but not bad. It was exciting, dare you admit to yourself. You and Umi are warming up to Galzyr and the antics of its everyday life. The walrus is going to need time to get your answers, so why not keep adventuring around the region? You earn 2 prestige, so now we have 5. Return alone together. 412 to the library. So 412 goes back. Give a random 49 from the library to the adventurer. Okay. If available, there are lots of 49s available. So we will shuffle these up. Oh, that's quite good for us. Thief threats. Part 1. Hazembe City Hall is holding an exhibition of in memory of Teshun, displaying old items by local pottery or clothing. The main attraction, the Teshunian sovereign ring, isn't there yet because a letter claims the sender will steal the ring as soon as we put it on display. We request help with the security. Sotiliki, the ferret secretary. So meet Sotiliki in Hazembe. That is now one of our quests. So we have taken this off. And Hazembe has something for us now. Back in Hazembe. And then let's go back to this. The partner earns 2 prestige. Take 439 from the library and shuffle it into the event deck. I don't know why I love these things so much. But I just find them, you know, the way It's one of the things I like about Iridia, actually, is the seeding of new cards into decks so that they kind of will randomly come up. I just think it's cool. I don't know how, like, I think in my head, I think, oh, this is really, like, they're being really clever and structuring things really well, but I don't know if that is really the case, or it's just kind of like, oh, we'll just chuck this thing in now, you know. But okay, so the end of the scene. So we're moving on to Sunday, and we will continue. So where are we going to go? So we have Tashun and Hazembe. So back this way. We also have a quest in Chabar. This one in Iron, yes, is still there. We didn't take it. So I think we will head this way. So now, unknown 869, this does come into play because this is the quicker way back to these two places. If we wanted to go to Rhinestone, we could go to Rhinestone. There are things we can do in all these places, but we will move to. So this is Forest and a Port, I think it looks like. So we will take an event card. And is it Saturday? No, it's Sunday. A settlement, a grassland, a forest. Yes, we are in a forest. So we're looking at 207. So 207. While enjoying the tedium of a winding forest road, the air is curiously riddled with gobbles. Your interest spurs you to leave the established road and head towards the funny sounds. 3 turkeys are, at a mad speed, running around the base of a tree, as if in deranged pursuit of one another. They seem oblivious to the outside world, only focused on chasing each other. Several travelling packs have been scattered across the ground, leaking papers and land surveying apparatus. You expect this to end at any moment, but as the seconds drag on to minutes, you begin to worry. What on Dimria are they doing? They have to stop at some point, right? You try to talk to them, but they ignore you. Do you have the perception tag? No. So intimidate them to stop, medium, or recall odd behaviours, or let the birds be. Well, medium is possible. I don't want to do that hard test, so I want to get involved. Let's intimidate them. So we will have 1 blue communication dice with 4 black dice. So let's roll them. So we're looking for the faces. Oh, we got 3. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, 3. You hit the birds with the most scary thing you can do. It breaks their odd race around the tree, but scatters them across the woods, giving shrieks as they crash into branches and bramble. With panicked trashing, the birds commit all their remaining energy in one blind struggle as they try to fight their way through the branches and undergrowth before passing out. Wow. Well, at least they are out of the strange loop, albeit wounded and unconscious. You go collect all their limp bodies and line them up so they can have a proper rest. Their leader regains consciousness for a moment, thanking you for helping them. Before she drifts off again to sleep, she mumbles about seeing a snake in the grass. So we get 1 prestige. Place drawn event card on the bottom of the event deck. So that one's going around as well. End of scene. So we move on to Monday. So only 3 days, 2 days left. Okay, so we're moving on. So I think just in case I want to make it to Tershun and do... Oh, Hazembe. Yeah, we can go to Tershun and do something there. So I'm going to move 1, 2. So we will draw another event. And... this is a new one because it has all the characters in here. And there's someone called Yamedja's turn who isn't... I don't think there's only this one expansion at the moment, so they're going to be in another expansion. But we are NOKO and Umi's turn, so it's 0, 5, 7, 4. 5, 7, 4. So this might not be written. Yes, okay, that's funny. This scene story writing is still a work in progress. You can either come back later or play the scene using our internal placeholder notes. I think, what should we do? Let's do another event. So we will go back. And I'll put this at the bottom of the event deck and draw another one. So this one has the adventure is shocked, settlement, grassland, forest. So we will do 2, 3, 9. 2, 3, 9, because that event will come back eventually and once they've finished writing stuff. While traveling through the woods, you see a lined up winged folk by a lake nearby. The string of body leads to an enormous wooden building. It is built up off the ground, wrapping around a string of oldest and largest trees in Galzyr. Only the most lavish and important guests in the line are allowed in. It might be a good test of your adventuring status to see if they will let you in. To cut to the front of the line and ask a woodpecker bouncer at the door to let you in. Name? Once you've provided it, he looks over his piece of paper. Not on the list, beat it. As you try to explain who you are, the bouncer gives you a hard shove to the ground. You looking for a fight? Leave now. Do you have the elite tag? No, you don't. If you sneak, each flight and stand tag gives you 2. Well, I don't have any of those. But it is an easy test and it's my strongest skill. So I'm going to do that. So oh, sorry, there you go. So we're going to roll 2 pink dice with 3 black dice. And we're looking for the hands as usual. Okay. This is an easy test. We got 2. So I'm pretty happy with that. We will go with that. Once you pick yourself off the ground, you creep behind the club. Its elevation up in the trees makes it more challenging to get inside. But you get up there and in through an unlocked window. Inside, you'll party with all kinds of important and powerful figures and earn some fame yourself by befriending such entities who regale with tales of your adventures. Your fun is cut short when a familiar woodpecker bouncer puts you in a headlock and drags you outside. I warned you to take a hike, the bouncer recaps, but you just had to be difficult. It is like you have no respect. I'm going to have to teach you some. If not, then at least maybe you will think twice about acting this foolish again. He starts dragging you to the bordering lake. This may not end well. So we can buy the bouncer's mercy. We do have 5 coins. Or accept our fate. He's going to beat me up, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive it. Let's give him the 3 coins. In a rush of broken sentences, so I need to just knock down my coins to 2. In a rush of broken sentences, you offer money to the bouncer to spare you of whatever it is he's planning. If this is a trick, it's going to be twice as worse for you. Pulling out a coin pouch, you drop to the ground. The woodpecker releases you, takes the gold, and sends you off to catch your breath. We earn 1 prestige. Place the drawn event on the bottom of the event deck. End of scene. So we move on to Tuesday. So this is the last day, and we will move to Tashun. And in Tashun, we can do this unfinished research. There are things we can do on cards, but I've got into doing this game, so we'll start this one off. This is unfinished research. My father worked in R in university as a researcher. Unlike the investigators, I do not believe it was an accident. He died many years ago. Please meet me in Tashun and we'll find out the truth. So we're meeting Lusan. 542. So 542. This is the exact spot where my father was found dead, says Luzanne, the small hedgehog looking out over the old stones, crumbled columns and desolate passageways of Tashun. Her travel cloak is covered in dust and the expression on her face is worn, as though she's trying to see into the past through the sheer will. They say it was an accident, but I've never believed it. Please, so I can sleep at night, will you help me see? Will you help me see search? Help me see. Search his old tent to see if there's evidence they overlooked. Cases of old notes and shelves of books lay scattered about her father's old work tent, looking as if they'd just waited for him to push the flap open and return to his research at any moment. Do you have the careless tag? No. Search through the documents. So an easy one or a medium one. I mean, let's go for the easy test. Oh, hold on. Yes, searching is good because we have that word on our magnifying glass and magnet. So we'll do the easy one. We get 2 pink and 1 blue. So we're rolling these die, and then we can get 2 successes from our magnifying glass. Does it help searching? Is that right? Yeah. So we got 1. And I think I will stick with that because we can use this magnifying glass. Search gets us 2 automatic successes. So that is 3 successes. So we've got 3. There's so much stuff in here. Even with Luzanne helping, it takes absolutely ages to sort through all the scholarly scribbles and archival articles littering the tent. Eventually, between the pages of the book, you uncover an old photograph of a lake house. As you raise it to ask Luzanne what it is, there's an ear-splintering crash. You were so absorbed in your task, there's no time to avoid a sudden and furious attack. Blades slash through the shadows and you turn to see a huge honey badger in black robes, curved knives glinting in the darkness. A hood falls from her head and I reveal one scarred eye and another glinting blackly and filled with cold determination. You should have left it alone, she growls at Louisanne. As an adventurer, you're used to being attacked, but who would target a university student? Some things are meant to stay dead. Louisanne screams as the badger slices towards her. You have to do something, and fast. Do you have the Roma tag? No, we are not a Roma. Fight the badger. It's hard. Or climb over the nearby wall, which is also hard. But the fighting is slightly better for us. So we're rolling these dice for fighting, but it is hard. But that's our best option. So we're looking for sword symbols. Oh. And we got 1, so I'm going to re-roll. Oh, we got 1 again. Rolls have not gone well. Oh. So 1 plus hands, because it's related. We got 4. So let's go for that. As you square up to skirmish with the badger, you realise that her attention is fully on Louisanne. If you disengage, you could take her on with a sneak attack. Okay, so sneak and ambush the badger, a medium thievery. So we will do that. So we need to roll thievery symbols. We need 2. We didn't get any on the first roll. Oh, we got 1. You've barely taken a step when the rocks under your feet slip and you fall flat. The badger turns and attacks. The knife slashes by your face, but you must have just avoided the slicing blow. Thinking quickly, you grab Louisanne and flee, shoving rocks in the badger's path as you run anywhere but here. Ooh, you both run as far as you can, then run a little further. Exhausted, Louisanne stumbles to a stop, clutching the photograph she found in her father's tent. It pictures herself as a child and her father by the water. The old lake house, she says, her eyes wet with emotion. Please meet me at Maratu so we can continue Oh my gosh, you're bleeding. The adrenaline fades and you realise, oh no, you have been badly sliced. Great. So we get 1 prestige. We return unfinished business. 3, 6, 9. And then we get a 53 and give a 459. So that's the next part of it. And we get a 53. Which is interesting because it's wounded. You've seen better days. The best course of action will probably be to avoid physical strain or seek treatment from a medical professional. In any thievery, might, survival skill check, we get -1 success. At a settlement and not in a scene, you may spend 2 to hasten. Hasten is move the timer token closer to the day token, as many days as specified. So we would move the token 1. It's going to go in 3 days, basically, but I will put it on the board. So we will do this and go 1, 2, 3. But this will I think we're quite lucky and this will go away, but I will put it up here with our other cards. So we have the next part, partnerhood and prestige, but we're moving on. And we activate on the Wednesday this harmony card. So we look at this, we remove this token, goes back, and we're at the gathering. So we look at card 200. Oh, sorry, not card 200, story 200. After all the excitement, challenges, and adventure, it's time to unwind for a moment and reflect on your travels. How many adventurers were there in this game? 1. Do you have an isolated tag? Nope. You head to the nearest inn, intent on treating yourself to a well-deserved evening, celebrating this leg of your journey. Already from the outside you can hear the sounds of lively patrons, suggesting the establishment is quite full once again. Despite the noise, all heads turn as you enter, curious to see the new arrival. We don't have enough money to throw a party, so we'll celebrate alone. How much prestige do you have? We have 8. Everyone in the bar affords you a pleasant nod, with many bouts of realization sprouting across several faces in the crowd. You sit down away from the crowd and ask the innkeeper to bring you a drink. Once it is delivered, you enjoy it at a leisurely pace while others around the bar whisper about who you are. They trade among themselves stories of great deeds done, laws broken, and hearts won across your travels. Seems you have some substantial reputation to your name. More will come when you venture out next. You are well known. End of game. Perform the following steps to save the game. So we would remove all timer tokens from the calendar and from cards without resolving their timed effects. And then, well, let's go through this. So this card, the wounded card, would go away. So we resolve all save effects on the adventurer boards and cards in play. So we just have 1, and that is on the June card. And the June card says, replace this card with 7. So this means that June, next game, will turn to July. And then resolve all save effects on the adventurer boards and cards in play. So the wounded card goes away as well because it has does it go away? That's interesting, actually. Yeah, it doesn't persist, so this goes back. So I luckily missed that. And then all these cards now will I don't, it's not satisfactory, that. Yeah, so we've done all those effects. Pack the game into the box. So place all cards for each adventurers in their adventurer's slot. So quests, items, companions, and adventure statuses. So these all go behind NOKO and Umi's slot. Place all remaining cards in the global. So there's a global place. So all these will go in there. And the quests. And also all the cards on the board, which I haven't talked about very much, but all these cards that are changeable. There's nothing changed this game. These all come off and they go into the global section as well. And then everything else just goes back into the game box. So there we go. That is a playthrough of Lands of Galzyr, Dreams and Mysteries, with the new character. I mean, we have done quite a bit because we've been doing the character-driven story, but there are also lots of changes for all the characters, and we just scratched the surface of those. But I have played through this before, and I may well keep playing with this character a little bit as well. But I've got plenty of things to be playing at the moment, so sometime in the future. I do like this game. I just think it's a really pleasant, interesting, clever system. Oh, I'm just finishing, Scott. I do think it's an interesting system, and it's very well designed. The characters are great. The storytelling is good when it's there. Obviously, we're missing some things for this new expansion still. But yeah, I very much enjoy it. Yes, welcome, Scott. I've just played through, and I know you're getting, or have you already got it? Has it arrived today? I hope you enjoy it. I've done a lot of reading. My voice is a bit tired. But I am actually going to go now. That is me done. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're watching this. If you'd like to join, I have a membership, which is you get one membership video a week on a Wednesday at the moment, and lots of other nice things. So please consider joining. It would help me out. Right, it's not arrived yet. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. I think it's an interesting game. Whether some people don't like it because they don't feel like it's a game, which I get, but I think it's a really well-crafted game. Okay, that is it from me. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.